Drunk Girls. That's right. That's the latest from LCD Sound System from their 2010 record, This Is Happening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is happening. This is the B-side episode 173 from MediaMonarchy.com. My name is James Evan Pilato. I'm your host and webmaster of the sites and show MediaMonarchy.com, as well as CyberspaceWar.com and FoodWorldOrder.com. And those are what we're going to go over here today. A quick word, Portland Radio Authority is under construction, getting us up to code with the fire marshal. So there's no live show today, so we're going to still record and broadcast from the home studios of MediaMonarchy.com. So having said all that, and speaking of drunk girls, let's jump to FoodWorldOrder.com and get all our latest updates. First, from the Daily Mail, Lindsay Lohan ditches alcohol for healthy kombucha drink. She's been banned from drinking alcohol, but Lindsay Lohan is now getting her kicks from a new organic tea. After being forced by a judge to quit her wild ways, the troubled star has been spotted clutching healthy kombucha in place of vodka. And with its long list of benefits, including improving liver, blood, and digestive system, Lohan is sure to reap the rewards. The organic product can help people kick habits such as alcohol, coffee, and junk food by restoring healthy balance to the body, according to one founder, GT Dave of GT's Kombucha, who started that company as a teenager in his parents' kitchen. Lohan had better be careful not to consume too much, since it is known to contain trace amounts of alcohol due to fermentation of its fruit ingredients. And some reviews claim the sweet-tasting drink gives a mild euphoria on top of energizing and uplifting the body. So what started out as a tabloid story, as just your basic run-of-the-mill tabloid story, has now ballooned into something a bit larger. And again, for folks that know, I do work at a grocery store here in Portland, Oregon, and we sell GT's kombucha drinks. So I first started to get the word from my folks out there and my man Zach with a finger on the pulse, and I threw it back out on Facebook.com/MediaMonarchy. Does anybody know about grocery stores pulling kombucha drinks? And in addition to some of the other comments from folks who say they're yucky, from the folks who know that it was, as far as the kombuchas disappearing from some Portland area stores, it was the distributor's call. They were worried about transporting it over state lines if it happened to be over the 0.5 alcohol limit. Why that means we have to pull it from the shelf, I don't know. I guess it would be illegal to sell it as non-alcoholic if it were over that limit. But I don't know why they have reason to believe that it suddenly is. Well, this story about Lindsay Lohan is what has caused this to get larger, and what has now forced the hand on distributors and the grocery stores. They basically want distributors to guarantee the alcohol content. So art imitates life, imitates pop culture, and affects your grocery shelf. Drunk girls indeed, my friends. Let's get some of the latest on FoodWorldOrder.com. 92% of UK customers want GM labeling. All the breakdown on the abstract and the questions. This all comes from Food Freedom. And it gets into, again, it's got the questions asked of folks in the UK, of chains of grocery stores in the UK. 92% want GM labeling. Jimmy Dean, the singing sausage man, the storytelling country music artist who created America's #1 selling breakfast sausage, has died at the age of 81. His death comes more than 25 years after he sold Jimmy Dean Sausage Company, which is today owned by the Sara Lee Corporation. FoodSafetyNews.com has a Q&A with Eric Schlosser, of course, the author of Fast Food Nation and one of the main consultants on Food Inc. Also from FoodSafetyNews.com, Portland Shellfish Company Incorporated recalls lobster in Oregon. Now, of course, that having no connection to the Gulf oil spill. But again, we're basically now in a position where we have to start thinking about the end of seafood as we know it. And that's how these stories are all connected. So regardless of whether we're talking about food and health issues on Food World Order, or internet freedom and piracy and cyberspace war, or everything else, everything is intimately connected. From allgov.com, the Federal Trade Commission cracks down on another dubious claim by Kellogg. The FTC is not letting up on the Kellogg Company, the world's largest cereal producer. Executives have agreed to stop marketing Rice Krispies as a food that boosts the immune system of children after FTC regulators filed a complaint over the misleading advertising. We expect more from a great American company than making dubious claims not once but twice that its cereals improve children's health, said FTC Chairman John Leibowitz in a prepared statement. Next time, Kellogg needs to stop and think twice about the claims it's making before rolling out a new ad campaign so parents can make the best choices for their children. The action over Rice Krispies follows an earlier crackdown from the FTC involving Kellogg's claims that Frosted Mini-Wheats were clinically proven to improve kids' attentiveness. I'd never heard that. The company also has been sued by a consumer who contends Kellogg's natural fiber bars contain non-natural ingredients. And of course they do. So much of this, and again, I gotta thank my girlfriend for trying to help me eat better and pay more attention, but all the little nasty things that are hidden under the dubious claims and on the labels of natural. Natural's a generic word. We've recently gone over on Food World Order how even the word organic is being used and misused and abused and put into the name of the food, Newman's Own Organics, but not always being organic. Our last story on Food World Order is the heaviest. This from The Guardian. Food prices to rise by up to 40% over the next decade. A United Nations report warns food prices are set to rise as much as 40% over the coming decade amid growing demand from emerging markets and for biofuel production, according to a UN report which warns of rising hunger and food insecurity. Farm commodity prices have fallen from their record peaks of 2 years ago, but are set to pick up again and are unlikely to drop back to their average levels of the past decade, according to the annual joint report from Paris-based think tank, the OECD, and the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. Although the report sees production increasing to meet demand, it warns that recent price spikes and the economic crisis have contributed to a rise in hunger and food insecurity. About 1 billion people are now estimated to be undernourished. Fair trade campaigners said the predictions of sharply rising food prices provided a stark warning to international policymakers. Now, of course, our international policymakers know exactly what they're doing with food wars and resource wars, and it all ties in to the eugenics agenda. Our flashback here just goes back to April of this year. Global food reserve needed to stabilize prices, and we always now have to remember when we see all the stories about California throwing away enough food to fill 35 Staples centers a year. And then we see again the folks connected to the eugenics agenda talking about GM foods to feed the starving world. These things are engineered. That's why they want to give it to you. They never want to give you the good stuff. They want to give you the things they engineer, and of course they hide it all away then in their seed vaults in Svalbard, Norway. And again, it's all coming back to Bill Gates, Rockefeller, Kissinger, Agenda 21, eugenics, Codex Alimentarius, all those things, so much more. Stay tuned to foodworldorder.com for so much more on that and many other stories.